Look to my right, we have a banner that is a pledge against bullying. You have a minute, come on down, sign our banner, and when we're done at the end of the day, we're going to have over 300 signatures on it. I want to wish everybody a good morning. My name is Dave Lichty, and on behalf of the Bolingbrook High School Parents and Teachers Association, welcome to the Stand Up and Speak Out Against Bullying Rally and Run Walk. As the PTA, we remain committed to supporting the educational programs of our schools, but as any teacher can tell you, those programs are only effective when our students enjoy a safe learning environment. And one of the most serious threats to that environment is the presence of what we have come to call bullying. And that's what brings us all here today. By making us all aware of what bullying is, by learning how we can correct this problem, and by encouraging us all to take action by standing up and speaking out, we hope to address this problem in a thoughtful and effective manner. For our first speaker, I would like to introduce Congressman Bill Foster.
Thank you so much for that kind introduction, and I want to thank all of you for inviting me here to join you today. And I'd like to extend a special thanks to Colleen Dowdy, who was responsible for organizing this event, and a special hello to State Rep. Natalie. Say hi, Natalie. Who's doing a great part of education and a volunteer working on the event. I am really very pleased to see the wonderful turnout here and to see all of you joining the effort to combat what is a prevalent and distressing force in our community and throughout the nation, that is bullying. And I would also especially like to thank the Bolingbrook Parent Teacher Association for inviting me to speak today, as well as for their dedication to ending bullying in our community. You in the PTA, as most of all, know how important it is to be engaged in the lives of our children. I'm proud to have raised two kids of my own, Billy and Christine, and it's true that as they got older, it can be much more difficult to know what's going on in your kids' life. They become tight-lipped as they explore what it means to become an adult. But as hard as it may be sometimes, it's vital that parents and teachers stay engaged in their lives and try to notice if their behavior changes and to keep checking up with them to make sure that they're still doing okay. As a scientist and businessman, I know the value of an education in building a bright future, but I also know that it can be hard for kids to focus on their studies when they feel unwelcome, unwanted, or unsafe. And I'm sure many of you have been hurt by bullying, as I have myself, whether it's in the classroom, in the school cafeteria, or even online. But it's important to know that you are not alone. You can see from the turnout here today that your community cares and that your family cares. And even the president is concerned about this issue. First Lady Michelle Obama has taken bullying on as a key issue in her time in the White House. In 2010, she hosted the first ever White House conference on bullying prevention, bringing together teachers, advocates, and policymakers to discuss ways in which we can make our schools safer. There's a very good government website called stopbullying.gov that has information for parents and for students. And as much as anything, that tells you that you're not alone when you see bullying taking place or when you're on either end of bullying, that this is not unique. There's nothing special about your situation. It's a characteristic of humanity that we have to be aware of and we have to prevent. Bullying is not harmless. It is not a rite of passage. It's not just a normal thing that all kids naturally do. It's a deeply damaging act that can ruin lives and can even be deadly. It's important to remind ourselves of the kind of people we want to be, because we are all given a choice. I hope that you will make the choice to reach out to your classmates and students who may be struggling, to approach them with kindness rather than contempt, and to encourage them if they're feeling down. I recognize that standing up and saying stop can be very risky, but it's an important part of becoming a responsible young adult. You know, I grew up to be a 6 foot tall adult male, but as a kid I was a shrimp. And it's almost 50 years ago when I was in grade school, like almost every other kid, I was on the giving and receiving end of bullying. I can still remember almost 50 years ago the names and the faces of the kids who bullied me, and the names and the faces of the kids that we bullied. I remember the feeling of shame when we did nothing, and I have a little bit of pride for the times when I actually stood up to stop what wasn't right. So bullying is not a harmless enterprise. It contains scars that take a long time to heal. And that's why it's important for parents and kids to think about the future and think about the past and think about how to conduct your life in the best way you know how. It's also only as a community, students, parents, teachers, volunteers, community leaders coming together, that we can begin to confront the problem of bullying head on. So continue to watch your children. Watch or listen to your classmates. Encourage those around you to stand up against bullying. Even one sharp word can sometimes turn a bullying incident from something that will leave a scar for life into something that you can laugh about in a few days. So, to any of you who are struggling in the classroom or left out of a team in gym or can't find a partner in a lab, as we've all heard, life does get better and the scars do heal. And if you're this object of bullying, reach out for help immediately when you need it. Find someone you feel comfortable talking to. It can make a huge amount of difference. Just sharing your burden with just one person makes more difference than seems reasonable, but it's a fact of human existence. So thank you again for having me and for all your work to shine a light on this important issue. And please know that I'm a strong supporter of the work that you're doing here, and that I and my staff will always be here to help with your cause. Thank you all.
Our next speaker should be a familiar face here in Bowling Green. Superintendent James Mitchum Jr. has been part of the Valley View School District 365 since 1980, serving as high school physical education teacher, coach, dean, assistant principal, and principal. Before becoming superintendent on July 1st, 2011. This time, I'd like to welcome Dr. James Mitchum.
Good morning. Just like Congressman Foster, many moons ago, I too was a grade school student. However, I never was a shrimp. I think is that what you said, shrimp? I never was a shrimp. I think I was born about 5 feet tall. So, fortunately for me, I never really was a subject of bullying. I don't know why, but I never was. I grew up to be 6'8", so. But I do recognize the impact it has on students, staff, parents, our community. So I'd like to welcome you to the BHS Stand Up and Speak Out 5K, run, walk, probably in my case, crawl, because I'm very stiff. But I do welcome you here today and appreciate your efforts. I'd like to begin with a thank you for this wonderful event. I'd like to thank the Bolingbrook High School staff. I'd like to thank the Bolingbrook Police Department, the Bolingbrook PTA, the students who have made a commitment to make a change, and the community members who are here to participate in the Stand Up, Speak Out 5K run. I'd like to quote some sad statistics as a result of bullying. 1 of 9 secondary students said they have been pushed, shoved, tripped during the last school year. Nationally, 160,000 children a day miss school because they fear they will be bullied at school. Over 20% of kids admit to being bullied or participating in bullying-like activities. Those are pretty staggering statistics. As a result of these statistics, Valley View School District has some significant efforts underfoot. Our district committee, we've had a district committee for the past 3 years for the specific purpose of addressing bullying. We publish and enforce anti-bullying and harassment policies. We provide professional development for our staff. We use the Sprigio anonymous reporting software in all of our schools. The software where kids can report bullying and then be anonymous. And we also have school-developed activities and programs specifically designed to combat bullying. Comments from Arnie Duncan, former CEO of the Chicago Public Schools and current Secretary of Education, states, the moral issue is plain. Every child is entitled to feel safe in the classroom, in the hallways, at school, and on the playground. Children go to school to learn. An educational opportunity must be the great equalizer in America. No matter what race, sex, or zip code, every child is entitled to a quality education, and no child will get a quality education if they do not feel safe at school. Mr. Duncan goes on to say, we hear that bullying has been going on in schools forever. Bullying is not something that can be shrugged off. Children are not born as bullies. It is a learned behavior. They're learning to bully from their peers or parents. They can learn to behave differently as well. The human impact of bullying and school violence is regrettable. Youth who experience bullying have alarming negative health, social, and academic consequences. These include not only the person being bullied, but also the target, the bully, and the bystanders. The impact of bullying includes linkage to other antisocial behaviors, more likely to commit crimes, and have often been bullied themselves. The impact of the target of bullying or the person being bullied include feeling unsafe, more likely to skip school, less likely to have college plans, more likely to use drugs and alcohol, and suffer from depression, and may possibly attempt suicide. The impact of bullying on the bystander includes feeling unsafe and not in control, has guilt about the part he or she played or did not play, and feels disconnected at school. This is just one effort to a call to action. We cannot allow a few people with bullying behavior to negatively impact our community and our schools. We need to set the bar high. We need the help of our students, community, parents, and school staff, which I am grateful for your help today. And we expect respect and kindness from all of our children. On the subject of respect and kindness, the golden rule is not old-fashioned. Stop and think before you say or do something that is hurtful. Keep in mind everyone is different, not better or worse, just different. If you've bullied someone in the past, apologize. Everyone will feel better. What you should do if you were bullied. Look at the bully and tell him or her to stop. Walk away and stay away. Don't fight back if at all possible. The only caveat I have with that is clearly, if you're in danger of bodily harm, you must protect yourself until such time that you can extricate yourself from the situation. But in most cases, try not to fight back. Find an adult to stop the bully on the spot and stay away from places bullying happens. Bullies are sneaky, so they can catch people when they are alone. Also, due to the electronic communication, it is important to know the impact of cyberbullying. This is one that I find critical in our school district, and one has caused quite pain for many of our students. Always think about what you post. Assume that it will be forwarded. Use the P3 test. If you would not want your parent, principal, or police to see your text, don't send it. Talk to your parents or an adult if you see things online that make you sad or scared. It's important to stand up for others. Talk to adults when bad things happen. Kids see things that adults don't. Just don't assume that adults don't care, because we do. But oftentimes, we can't help unless we know. Be kind to someone who's being bullied. Befriend them, include them, sit with them at lunch. They will be grateful and will perhaps pay it forward. Don't ignore bad behavior. The bully will think it's okay. To the parents, we need to be militant and guide our children. Be aware that cell phones and internet provide access to the world, good and bad. Check cell phones to see what is going in and out, and limit cell phone usage to appropriate times. Finally, for all of us, we need to be involved. This event happened because a few people cared and made a commitment to make a change. Special thanks for me to Michelle Bochman, who spearheads the school district's efforts to combat bullying. I appreciate her efforts, and she deserves a round of applause. Michelle Gardner. Thank you very much for your time. Stand up and speak out. God bless.
Our next speaker is a Bolingbrook High School graduate who has worked in Minneapolis and is now a Los Angeles-based filmmaker. But he came back home last spring to produce a short film on bullying. And here to present it, Mr. Vince Irby.
There really are all types of bullying. It starts in the grade school. We know how terrible cyberbullying is right now. And it just keeps going right into the workplace. But the film that we produce is a grade school bullying, classic old school playground, grade school bullying short film with a message that hopefully has some universality that goes from the schoolyard out to cyberspace and really all the way out into the workplace. By the time it's all said and done, it's a 4-minute short. We submitted it to Sundance, and we're really hoping that this film is going to be a film that's going to be in classrooms all around the world for kids to watch. For 4 minutes, go into a classroom and learn to stand up and speak out about bullying. Thank you. Enjoy the movie.
He's a counselor in Cook County Jail, an aggression replacement trainer. He travels the country speaking about social issues. Which is why we are here today. Please welcome our social poet, James McGrew.
There is only one that can make time. It's not you, and it's not me. We can only take time. And I'll take this time to thank each of you for taking the time to be here. And I'd like to ask you to take a moment of silence and time for the people that aren't here. One moment, please. Bow your head. Thank you. Before this great country of ours developed into the superpower it is today, we were 13 colonies. When a pilgrim misbehaved, the official punishment was to put the offender on display and stops for the public to see. The offender was to endure the public humiliation and not sin again, to endure being ridiculed, teased, and bullied in public and not sin again, to believe it was good for the community. It didn't make people behave. It only added to the unidentified problem. The governing bodies felt things were chaotic and they wanted to bring things in order, so they moved to put people in stops. They confused motion with progress. Let us not make the same mistake. They practiced management by threat. Management by threat never has and never will produce any long-term benefits. Bullies manage by threat. We are no better than a bully when we practice bullying tactics to get the job done. It doesn't matter we do it because something needed to be done, because things were out of control, because it works. When we go to our doctor, the symptoms are obvious: runny nose, fever, burning, itchy eyes, coughing, etc. We're usually given a prescription. The prescription meds will treat the symptoms, not the problem. The problem, which is a virus, will run its course and go away. Bullies are violent. They will not just go away. They spread their sickness everywhere. Their diseases in schools, on the jobs, in homes, on the net, in hospitals and churches too. No place, no thing, no person is sacred or immune. Directly or indirectly, we all suffer. If we continue to view bullying as the problem, we are shooting blanks, and bullies don't play dead. Bullying is not the problem. Bullying is a symptom of a problem. Like attempted suicide is a symptom of a problem. Bullying is a form of transferring pain. The unidentified source of pain is the problem. Addressing the symptoms of bullying is motion, not progress. We've spent centuries and countless dollars addressing the effects and symptoms. It's time we identify and address the problem. With the bullies' help, we can identify their unmet need and eliminate their need to transfer their pain in the form of bullying. Bullying is not new. Cain bullied Abel. Hitler and his boys bullied Europe. Idi Amin bullied the people of Uganda. Bin Laden bullied America, and other terrorist bullies continue where he left off. Parents have bullied students, educators have bullied students, and of course, students have bullied students. Bullies are everywhere. On the expressway, there's a bully that wants to occupy the space that you're in, so he cuts open in front of you and dare you to hit him. What do? Hit him or let him have his way? Who do you tell? What source do you have? Do you hope he crashes and burns? Usually, we think of bullies. We think of big versus small, strong versus weak, influential versus the common man, powerful versus the powerless. While those styles are common, there's a just as deadly form that is not always so obvious. There's the know-it-all student versus the struggling student. There's the attractive, popular student versus the nerd. There's the teacher's pet versus the teacher's pest. History tells me two things about bullies. Number one, you can't get rid of bullying. Number two, you can get rid of bullies. Just like you can't get rid of gangs, but you can get rid of gang members. Gangs and bullying are intangible. We're in a war where one side is using live rounds and the other is shooting blanks. Our casualty list grows daily by leaps and bounds. Bullying is not a random act. Victims are selected and then persecuted. I was at Elmhurst College 2 times in July and once in August speaking to the faculty and students about bullying. Many bullies were in the audience. One bully said, "I bully students because my father bullies me at home." Another bully said, "I'm literally afraid of my father. He bullies me all the time, and I come to school and look for something to bully." A beautiful young woman said, "I and my friends teased a girl in high school so much and for so long, she committed suicide, and somehow I feel responsible. Somehow." A young female casualty of bullying in a middle school in Addison, Illinois, wrote the following poem and left it for me. "I prayed to die before I wake, then put my heart through a stake. To slice my wrist and cut my throat, my mind drifts off as if on a boat. Through the thick blood I feel it breeze. As I fall to the ground, I fall on my knees. My tears drown my vision. My head and the ground had a one-on-one collision. Blood flows and surrounds my face. It makes me think of my strings of burgundy lace. I close my wet, swollen eyes soon after I die, not to the least to my surprise. What about now? Do people still think I won't do it? Well, look who's sitting looking stupid. I'm not sorry to anyone. In this life, I've loved a couple people, but even they are fading. Look above at my course, strike my face and call me selfish, beat me, bruise me, I won't care. Love me, hold me, I won't know. The damage is leaving, no it left. Sarah was a cutter, and after spending a terrifying day at school being bullied, she went home and ended her misery. She cut her throat. When your play button was pushed, you were pushed into life. You can fast forward your life, pause it too, but you can't rewind it no matter what you do. When the tape runs out, your movie is through, and though you won't see it again, it will get a final review. You are the star, writer, and director too. How your movie ends depends on you. You can change the stage, the scenery, even your co-star. You can change anything, including who you are. You could be the hero and live up your dream, or you could be bullied, low down and mean. Whichever part you play, it's all being seen, for your life is playing now on the big screen. So I'm going to repeat it, not to be rude, but the life you live, it will be reviewed. Your movie, your life. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to share with you something I've been told and something I know. I've been told if you take a lump of coal and expose it to consistent extreme pressure for an extended period of time, you'll get a diamond. What I know is if you take a student and expose him or her to consistent extreme pressure for an extended period of time, you will not get a diamond. You will get a lump of coal. I look at students tremble with teenage fear, and I cry. I listen to them tell me how young they'll be when they die, and I cry. I cry for the pain they experience. I cry for their hurt inside. I cry for their sad memories. Oh yes, I cry. I cry for families drifting apart. I cry for their children's broken heart. I cry for their anger. I cry for their hurt. I cry for their young dreams scattered in dirt. I cry for the teachers that give their all. I cry for the counselors, principal, white, and support staff. I cry for them all. I see the tears in loving parents' eyes. I feel them in mine. I cry for their sons and daughters. I cry all the time. I cry, stop bullying. I cry, it's not too late. I cry, please listen. Life is the choices you make. I'll cry forever. Cry till I die. I could go on, but I'll cry. In 1773, a bold group of Bostonians dressed up and had a tea party on the docks. It was a rally to stop bullying. 3 years later, a daring group of people signed the Declaration of Independence, stood up and yelled across the Atlantic Ocean, "Stop bullying!" 50 years ago, a courageous man, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., stood on America's front porch and said, "Stop bullying!" He also spoke of a dream. Dreams don't just come true. They're thought out and planned through and through. Pick something. Whatever you would like to be. Right now it's just a dream, and dreams are for free. Plan your dream carefully to make it be as you see. Right now is the time. Time isn't free. Dream the dream that you like. You will when you try. Right now it's just a dream, and dreams help us get by. Believe dreams are often seen. Wishful ones not. Forever believe. Believe the dreams don't rot. Pick your dream. Plan your dream. Dream your dream. Believe your dream. Make your dream be true. Pick, plan, dream, and believe. This is what you must do. Because dreams don't just come true. I open speaking about our past. I'll close speaking about today. Today, I'm asking you bold, daring, and courageous people to please stand up. Stand up. And on the count of 3, we're going to shout out to the world, stop bullying. Are you with me? Are you with me? All right, very good. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
A little party,